Greetings and welcome to Live from the Show, presented by CED. I'm Stuart Schley and we're at SCTE's Cable-Tec Expo 2014 in Denver, my hometown. One of the companies that helps cable and broadband providers get the most from their plan investments is All Systems Broadband. We have a chance to visit at the booth of the company today with the CEO, Jason Skeoch, and thanks for being with us, Jason.
Thank you.
Totally
Thank you,
appreciate it. Yeah.
Appreciate you being here.
I talked to you guys last year, and maybe I'll just start with kind of what your product and development focus has been in the last 12 months.
Well, it's been a pretty busy last 12 months, as you can just see from all the products in the booth compared to what we had last year. We've been real busy on product development, and then obviously with product development, it's product approvals, getting these products approved within the MSOs and the service providers so they can use them. We've been very proud of the fact that we've become ISO TL 9000 certified, further demonstrating our commitment to quality. We've been building out our operations team, more assets overseas, both for our overseas production and our domestic production. And then lastly, we've almost had double the revenue and almost double the employees since the last time we spoke. So building out the infrastructure in the back office to be able to support that kind of growth is...
Was that a fair way to describe you guys? Talking about leveraging existing investments in plant is a big thematic focus.
Yeah, absolutely. We've built up the platform now as far as the employees that we have and the systems that we have, so we can experience growth as well without having to add a lot of new employees, a lot of new resources.
I always like to ask this question, particularly of CEOs, so thanks for the audience here, but how do you decide where to put your investment and focus in invention and innovation? What inspires you guys to go in particular directions?
Well, you take your cues from the customer, right? You take in the market and where the market's going. You got to be tied in with them and the direction that they're moving and the needs and challenges that they have, and that drives your product development. It's very important, and we'll talk more about it, I'm sure, later on in the interview, but being engaged with that customer and understanding their challenges that they have with their network and some of their products is key. And being able to have those relationships to be on the forefront of that is what helps drive our product development.
Talking about taking cues, one of the areas where you guys are very active and the cable industry is very active is in the red hot business services market, which is, I think, the fastest growing revenue source for the domestic cable industry today. Kind of what's your role and how are you helping out on that front with cable providers?
So some of the big products that we have for the business services side is where they're bringing a fiber into a business park or a business, a high rise, is that landing point where they land that fiber there and then they distribute that signal out to the different customers that are in that strip mall or in that business. So that could be in our fiber box, in our fiber shelf, and then either filtering that through CWDM or DWDM, coarse wave division multiplexing or dense wave division multiplexing, some of our filters, then hand those signals off to the different tenants in the building.
I think it used to be that, maybe I'm overstating the case, that your only choice to extend plant, let's say to a new hot business campus or park, was to literally put new fiber in the ground, right?
And that speaks to some of the development that we've done. You're exactly right. We do work very hard to try to maximize the assets that are already in place with the customer. Perfect example would be if they had a fiber run that had been exhausted, their only options then were to string up new fiber or to change out the electronics on the other end. Both are pretty expensive endeavors. One of the products that we have is our All Systems Broadband DWDM filters, which you can splice into that existing fiber span and increase the capacity that you have. Because of the density of the design, you're able to deploy that in some existing assets. So you don't have to go out and buy new fiber optic splice closures or new equipment to deploy this. You use the existing assets that are already spent.
That word density and flexibility sort of permeates your world. Talk about those concepts and how they influence what you guys do.
So we know that our customers obviously are looking for vendors that are flexible for new technologies, new innovation. That's obvious, but also looking at ways that you can maximize assets that they've already deployed to help them achieve what they're trying to do with their network. And we've seen that in a couple different ways. Obviously the flexibility, making their current network more flexible and adaptive, and then that's led to more density in the products that you deploy.
When you talk to your customers, and as CEO, I know you spend you told me you're not necessarily an engineer or a technical guy, but you spend a lot of time on team development and customer relations. What's some of the feedback you're hearing from the marketplace today, and what does it mean to you?
So my background is actually in sales, so probably my VP of sales doesn't like it very much, but I love to get out and travel around and go talk to customers and get feedback. And the feedback that we've been hearing has been very positive about what we're doing and how we interact with our customers. I tend to oversimplify things sometimes. We talk a lot internally about make the customer happy and do the right thing. And we try to empower all of our employees all the way down the line, all the way down to the warehouse guys to do exactly that. Give them the ability to make the decisions they need to make to do the right thing, and to make the customers happy. And we also talk, even in our mission statement, there's 4 guiding principles to that. We try to bring value to our customers in 4 different ways. Innovative products, service excellence, supply chain management, and total quality control. And the feedback I'm getting is that we're hitting on all 4 of those fronts.
You have to put on your strategic hat from time to time to kind of guide the business. I know that as CEO. What's the long view? Over the next 5 years, Jason, what sorts of dynamics and trends, domestically at least, are we going to see in this industry?
I think you're going to continue to see consolidation. Some of that has already been announced, but I think that those will go through, and I think we'll see more consolidation amongst the service providers. And I think the second wave of that is going to be within the vendor community. I think you're going to see a lot of people trying to leverage economies of scale and get scale to be able to be more competitive in this market. We'll see a continued investment in network centers. We're seeing and hearing terms as far as 90% efficiency within data centers and network centers, so I think we'll see continued investment there. But the part that's really exciting for us is we're going to see more fiber further into the network. We're going to see, especially the MSOs, I think you're going to see them do more fiber to the home in greenfield deployments instead of deploying the traditional HFC networks. We're going to see more fiber to the MDUs.
I think you were talking with me off camera about this, but that's kind of the exciting. We are really rebuilding the telecom infrastructure in this country and elsewhere as well, and fiber is it.
Absolutely. Well, it's a fast-changing environment. You're seeing the MSOs go from their traditional HFC networks to DOCSIS to fiber, and the challenges of transitioning those networks to be able to get there is exciting. Because it was exciting for the consumer, exciting for the industry, for the market, and certainly exciting for suppliers like us because our products play right into the middle of that. So I think we're in a good position.
Helping get more out of the optical network is All Systems Broadband. Jason, thanks so much for taking some time to
Pleasure meeting you.
talk with us today. You too. Thank you for watching for CED and Live from the Show. I'm Stuart Schley.